Hey, Crustacean Nation, welcome back to Lobster Tales on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. It's the go-to way for you fans to learn more about your favorite players. As always, I'm your host, Matteen Rad, and I'm joined today by top goal scorer in the FPHL's 2024-25 regular season, Kayson Gallant. Gally, how you doing today, my man?
I'm feeling great. Day before playoffs, so we're ramping things up over here.
It's a tremendous feeling, man. You've been heavily requested as one of our guests on the show, and it really feels like you're the man of the moment right now. You'll go down as the only player in this league to score 40 goals. Was that something you were envisioning for yourself when you joined this team?
Definitely not. I mean, I expected to come in and just try and help the team win as much as possible, but I didn't expect to fill the net that much, I guess.
You've really exploded for goals in the second half of this season, especially on the power play. You're kind of in that, what they call that OV spot. You're that kind of guy on the unit. What factors do you think led to you leading the league in power play goals?
Definitely, it's got to be a part of Marty's, knowledge of, putting the right guys out on the power play, and then the guys on the power play too, right? They're very skilled with Milan, Shinks, and you sometimes Orca, sometimes Danny and Phil and Mallow even. Like all those guys contribute to, doesn't matter who scores on the power play. So
Coach Marty had told me in a previous interview that he acknowledged how tremendous of a player you were at the beginning of the season, and yet you still made a case for yourself as the most improved player on this team across the season. What have you made of your growth this year? Do you feel like you came into this organization as a 40-goal caliber player, or did that happen along the way?
I think it definitely happened along the way, just with the mentorship on the team and the players and stuff like that. You obviously come in and you want to play as good as possible, but I think my first thought of the first 2 months was just play good enough where you can't cut yet.
I think you're an interesting person to get this kind of perspective from. Coach Marty brings so much experience to the table, and I can't imagine how valuable that is for a young man like you who's still in the budding stages of his career. What do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned from having Marty as your coach?
Honestly, just the whole 200 feet of the ice. It's a completely different game looking at that way instead of just seeing one side of the red line, the offensive side. So when you play defense, the offense comes a lot easier.
It felt like there was a shift from you at some point in the middle of the season where your play had just gotten exponentially more gritty. Was that something you put work into, or did that come naturally with the nature of the league?
Definitely part of the lead for sure, but Marty had, he had asked guys to step up with their game, and then if you're going to play in this league, you can't just be a princess and dance around everybody. You got to get your nose dirty. So I definitely put a stress on it for a couple months there for sure to kind of ramp that side of it up.
Of course, a lot has been made of your partnership with Filip Virgili. It was something we talked about all the way back in October, and it's something that I asked Phil about just last week. What do you think Phil's biggest contribution has been to your monster of a season?
He's just such a smart player and big brother to me, right? So we talk all the time. We're always chatting on the bench, and you can say one thing to him and he'll know right where you are the next shift and find you with the puck or go to an open area, and he's always in the right spots.
You're going into this playoff series against Columbus, and you specifically have had some memorable moments against the River Dragons in that building. The first time you played at the Civic Center, you scored the latest regulation goal by the team this season, I believe, with 6 seconds to go to force the game into overtime. What is a moment like that like? I feel like it's one of those things where the puck hits the net and you just black out.
Yeah, pretty much, right? The last 20 seconds of that game is just kind of you black out and you just throw everything on net and go to the net as fast as possible. And honestly, it doesn't matter who puts it in as long as it does go in.
What moment ranks higher? Is it that goal, or was it that home ice hat trick you had just a few weeks ago against Bingo?
I think it's got to be at home against Bingo with the crowd and stuff. And against Bingo, I mean, they're a good team, but the goal that's not the credit all to me either. I mean, they made some great plays to me by Mallow and Phil. They made some great passes. So
Going into this,
take all the credit.
you never do either. I know you pretty well. Are you going into this game tomorrow as a playoff start with the same mentality as any other game, or is there a mode that you kind of have to lock yourself into at all?
I think there's a little bit of a different mode. I think playoffs is a little bit of a different beast, and you have to find something inside you to just push yourself that extra gear and find it. And I think we got a lot of guys on our team that can do that.
Going back in the time machine a little bit, Case, you grew up in Red Deer, Alberta, and you've become affectionately known as the Red Deer Rocket on the broadcast. What's something you can tell us about home that makes it special?
My family, obviously my mom and my dad. There's nothing better than that. My grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my friends. They've been so supportive through this whole season and even last year when I wasn't playing. So I cannot thank them enough. That's what makes home special.
I was curious. I looked it up, and apparently it's the same distance from Red Deer to Calgary and to Edmonton. So was there a team that you had to choose growing up? Was there a good split in Red Deer?
Yeah, there was definitely a good split, but I went with Edmonton. Sean Harkoff and stuff like that. So, and Ryan Smith, I liked them at the time.
They've probably been a little closer to touching glory in your time on this earth as well. And that kind of leads us well into our next little segment we have here, Gally. I've been adding some game segments in our recent Lobster Tale interviews, and you were born right exactly before the new century in December of 1999. That, along with you being the potential rookie of the year in the FPHL this season, one of the league's best young talents, we're going to play a game of older or younger. I'm going to give you a list of things, and one after the other, you're going to tell me if you think that you are older or younger than that thing. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
All right. The first thing we have on our list is a movie. Let's start with Shrek. Do you think you're older or younger than the first Shrek movie?
I think I'm younger, actually.
You're older. Shrek came out in 2001.
Oh, that's bad. The hot start.
I'll warn you now. These are all pretty close to your birthday.
Okay.
So the next up is the Columbus Blue Jackets, an expansion franchise. Are you older or younger than the Bull?
I think I'm younger. Was it not 99 or 98 it came out?
97 was the first Columbus Blue Jackets season.
Get away with that.
So that was a team that, made a shift, a seismic change in the league. How about a player that's done so? Cale Makar. Are you older than or younger than Cale Makar?
I think I'm older than him.
You are younger. Cale Makar in 98. I don't know if you're going to know this or not. I don't know if they have this in Canada. The TV show Survivor. Do they have Survivor in Canada?
Oh, they do. I've never watched it, but I think it's older than me.
You are older than Survivor. It came out in 2000.
I'm not getting tricky.
How about the comfortable shoe that continues to sweep the nation, Kayson? Crocs. Are you older or younger than Crocs?
I gotta be older than Crocs, right?
You're older than Crocs. You got that one right.
Let's go.
Last one. You're well aware of Marian Hossa, I'm sure. He scored 525 goals in his career. But goal number 28 in his career, do you think you're older or younger than that goal?
28. Let's say I'm younger than it.
Trick question, Gally. That goal came on December 13th, 1999, and that is your birthday.
Yes, it is.
All right, Kayson, that dumb end to that segment leads us right into Question a Crustacean. It's the go-to way that Rock Lobster fans can learn more about their favorite players by asking them questions themselves. If you'd like the opportunity to ask players questions in future interviews, look for posts from me in our Athens Rock Lobster fan page on Facebook. Kayson, first question is from Becky Rice Hasty, and she wants to know, ninjas or pirates? What are you more interested in?
Oh, I think I got to go Pirates from...
Me too.
Pirates
I see what's on you.
Yeah.
Our tech extraordinaire Stephen Turner says, Athens, Georgia is far from Alberta. What do you think about Georgia living, and have you learned any Southern sayings?
I haven't learned any sayings, I don't think. I think I just say y'all a lot more.
That's the universal language, man. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Someone that I know is a big fan of yours, Maddie Benton, is curious. What sport would you play, or if hockey or golf wasn't an option?
Honestly, I'd probably skateboard. I used to skateboard competitively as a kid, and I think I would choose that.
I think someone else told me that they were a skateboarder too. I can't remember if it was Grex or not. Is there any time, or is it even a smart idea for you guys to get on a board during the season at all?
Definitely not during the season, that's for sure. I mean, I'd like to think I have enough skill from when I was 16 to still be able to not hurt myself, but you never know. So I save it for summer.
Maddie's dad is up next on our list. Ty wants to know the difference between college hockey experience and pro hockey experience, and which one have you liked better?
Definitely similar in some ways, but different in others. Like the guys, we live together. We spend a lot of time together like that. But the hockey side, in the professional side, it's a lot more serious, right? There's a lot more on the line. There's always that little stress in the back of your head going, I got to keep playing well to stay in the lineup every night. So
Shannon Vanskike with this question. Do you have plans to move up, or do you swear an oath to the Lobsters forever? It's an interesting question, Case. What do you think the path ahead for you looks like?
I think right now we're just trying to stay focused on playoffs. But if I was to look ahead next year, maybe try and get into an East Coast camp and try and get a couple games there next year. And if not, then play here for the remaining of the next year and see what happens after that.
Catherine Harding, someone who is interested in both Athens and Columbus hockey, asks, what is your favorite thing about Athens?
It's got to be the liveliness of it. Like you go out on any day of the week and you go downtown sunny day, it's just bumping. Something's going on, live music. The people are great. The Southern hospitality is real. So that's been awesome.
Her supporting Columbus, the River Dragons as well. She was curious what your favorite part of the in-state rivalry against Columbus was.
The intensity. Definitely the intensity. It's different. It's different than any hockey I've ever played.
Thor Neff with our next question. He asked for any pregame routine or superstitions you might have.
Nothing more than my right skate on before my left, my right shin pad all the way up to the gloves pretty much. I like to play a little bit of sewer ball and just make sure I get a good stretching routine. And I'll make the same breakfast every day on home game days with hash browns, eggs, and bacon, and watch a little bit of Lost, and then I'm good for the day.
Have you and the boys discovered the glory of Waffle House yet? I guess I haven't asked that question to anybody.
Yeah, we definitely have. Some of the guys have, we always get a text every now and then in the group chat saying, does anyone want to hit up Waffle House? And there's always a few guys.
Well, Case, your family has been a part of our cast of characters in our YouTube broadcast chat. I'm not sure if it's something you know or not, but it's definitely something H.R. Roman has noticed. He wants you to talk about the support and energy you feel from your family. He says, we see them in the chat, always following and supporting you. The love and pride they feel for you is palpable. How does that fuel you?
I mean, there's nothing better to fuel you, right? If you can't get up in the morning for your family like that, I mean, I don't know what you're doing. So they've been absolutely amazing. I mean, talk to my mom every other day and my dad just about the same. So it's good to talk to them and keep in touch as much as possible when you spend 8-9 months away from them at a time. So I definitely miss them lots, and I can't thank them enough for, I wouldn't be here without them. So,
well, hopefully you can go back home to Red Deer with a ring, and maybe you could bring the cup as well. Hope McIntyre with our next question. She asked, what are your favorite books to read? Are you a reader, Gally? Is that something we don't know?
I'm not a huge reader, but I try to read like the self-help book kind of thing. So like the one I'm reading right now is like, I think it's like Atomic Habits or something, but I don't read a lot. So it's, first chapter here, second chapter there.
All the guys are really smart guys. I couldn't imagine at the same time, like getting on the bus and seeing one of the guys with like a book in their hand. Maybe that.
No, I've read maybe twice on the book or on the bus. And I think I might have been the only one.
Well, next question goes to our fan club admin, Niven McCrary. She pointed out some of the guys got to make their own creation at Farm Burger. What's your ultimate burger combo? What are your toppings? Fries, tater tots, or sweet potato fries, and what to drink?
I'm going to start with the drink. You got to get a milkshake. Because, you always got to start with that. Just to build your own, I keep it pretty easy. Onions, lettuce, tomato, pickles, pickled jalapenos with a little spice. Paprika mayo has been awesome on there. Tried the pork belly as well, and probably the best chicken tenders I've ever had there, and a side of fries. John
Pearson asks, what your favorite thing to do in your downtime around Athens?
My favorite thing is, spending time with the guys, obviously try and get close as possible, but we play a lot of pickleball and hang out at the pool, watch hockey together, maybe go downtown when football season's on, catch a couple games there as well.
James Megan Vineyard with an important one. What's his favorite Southern dish he has tried?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I have an answer. They've been all so good, but I do love just when they get like a big barbecue together. Just put everything on there. The mac and cheese, the brisket, everything.
You're speaking to my soul right now, Case.
Yeah.
Our in-house DJ at Aikens Ford Arena, DJ Webster, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I think I did "Shook Me All Night Long" by AC/DC at the one of our gatherings.
Well, Kate, important question askers coming up here. Raylan Robertson asks, if you could play hockey on any team in the world for one day, what team would that be, and who would you want as your line mates? Line mates can be anybody.
I mean, it's pretty hard not to say something like Colorado, play with McKinnon, and let's say Landeskog is back, or Natchez, and have McCarr on the back end. I feel like that'd be a pretty good start.
I think it's a great answer, but finally, the most important question from dear old mom herself, Tammy Gallant. She tells us that Grandma Lou wants to know, does she get that steak and lobster supper when you come back to Red Deer?
Yes, she sure does. Yes, she sure does.
Well, I think that's a heartfelt end to this conversation, Kayson. Thank you so much. Another great lobster tale told here on the network. The Athens Rock Lobsters begin their road towards the Commissioner's Cup on Wednesday, April 16th in Columbus, Georgia, against the Columbus River Dragons. The team will then return to Aikens Ford Arena on Friday, April 18th for Game 2 of the series. If necessary, Game 3 will be in the tank on Saturday night. All puck drops will occur at 7:05 p.m. Secure your playoff tickets to cheer your team toward a championship at rocklobstershockey.com or classiccenterevenue.net. Case, see you Wednesday, my brother.
Thank you very much, Matteen. You have yourself a good one.